Hello guys, today, and first of all, welcome back. It's been a minute, I get it, but I just needed a break from doing these kinds of videos. Um, and I'm gonna do like about 8 of these, and then I'm gonna strongly get into another vlog series, but it's gonna be a short one. I don't plan on it being really big. Like, it's a short season of something, but I still find it significant to some degree. I won't say what it is just because I don't know if I will be able to have access to that. So this might not happen. We'll have to see. Um, but yeah, I plan on doing these and then preparing for the vlogs. I don't know how long this will last. I plan at least 8, like I just said. But if if I have to, I will go a little bit longer. But we'll have to see. But today we are gonna talk about Wonder Woman 1984. Um, some of these movies I'm talking about were in did this dual theater straight at home thing, and some of them we opted to do the stay at home viewing mainly because of the restrictions and some of these movies and at the time a lot of these movies were in very specific theaters, like a few like in the middle of somewhere else that we couldn't get to. So some of these movies we didn't have the option to see, so there's going to be a couple of these that would have been movie theater reviews, ended up being these because I didn't see them in theaters. So anyway, a little bit about this movie. um this one came out in 2020. It's rated PG-13. It's 2.5 hours long. It's a long ass movie. It has actually 5.4 out of 10 on IMDb with about 211,000 ish user votes. It has 60 on Metacritic. On Rotten Tomatoes, it's weird because when I did movie theater reviews, or I forgot what movie I reviewed, they had Rotten Tomatoes had an audience consensus, and this one doesn't have that. So this must have been before they added it or something. I don't know. So on Rotten Tomatoes, the movie has 59% by critics, almost fresh, with 427 critics, and 73% by audience, about 2,500-ish user audiences. The critics' consensus is Wonder Woman 1984 struggles with sequel overload, but still offers enough vibrant escapism to satisfy fans of the franchise and its classic central character. I like that they added the audience thing because last time I did it, they didn't have that as far as I could see, so it's kind of cool they showed that. On the Just Watch app, as you see, I'm doing this through my laptop because I'm using my phone for this, but that might change soon, which I'll talk about some other time. The movie is available to stream on HBO Max, HBO, Amazon Prime, and DirecTV. It's available to rent and buy on Fandango, but it's only available to buy on, this is a mouthful, Vudu, Microsoft, Apple TV, Amazon, Google Play, YouTube, Redbox, AMC Theaters on Demand, and DirecTV. So, and then it was released on DVD March 30th as well. So, this movie. What can I say about it without getting into spoilers? Well, here's the thing. To be honest, most everyone either has already seen the movie or has already kind of got the memes and the criticisms of it. So I might be a little bit more honest about it than usual, just because of whatever. So in case you're watching this, I'm just gonna give it a quick overall thing before I get to it. I thought it was good. I liked it. It's not perfect by any stretch. I think the biggest flaw of the film, without getting too into it, is it overthinks itself. It tries too hard to be like too much, and it cuts off its nose to spite its face a little bit. And it's like when they saw, like, they were making something and they threw all this extra stuff. It's like going the long way around. That's the best way to describe this film. This film has a tendency to go the long way around when it could just take the easy shortcut. And it goes a long way around for the sake of, I don't know, some complexity that sounded, I guess, decent at the moment, but doesn't translate well at all. So, anyway, here comes the details. So pretty much, this is 80s. Wonder Woman makes a few appearances, but still is maintained hidden. She's not really out there. Still kind of living life alone, and then she meets some friends, encounters some people, and then shit starts happening because a stone appears that whoever holds it can grant wishes. Well, this guy, this ambitious guy, Maxwell Lord, he was one of two bad people in this film. Um, he wants to use the stone. He does it in a clever way of like he does this in a very clever way. And I won't get into this part, but I like the way he like uses the stone in a very cool way. It's not something I've quite seen, so I kind of it is definitely smart. It definitely makes the villain look smart. The second villain, you guys already know it's Cheetah. The character, the way they use first of all, the actress who plays her, Kristen Wiig. That reminds me, I didn't get into the actors and directors of this movie. I'm so sorry. It's been so long. The people who star in it is Gal Gadot, who was also in Fast and Furious movies. God, I feel so stupid. I've been doing this for so long, I can't believe I forgot these parts. It just goes to show you sometimes about things like that. And Kristen Wiig, who was also in Bridesmaids. It's directed by Patty Jenkins, who also did the first Wonder Woman movie. And that's it. I forgot that simple part. But anyway, back to the movie. What was I gonna say? Oh, this is killing me. The director. But yeah, so the actress who plays her, Kristen Wiig, she actually does it well, but they do the kind of the Edward Nygma, Selena Kyle type, this old school, like, nerdy, conservative person. Something happens to them, all of a sudden they go out of their shell and they become either evil or anti-hero-ish. But definitely bad here. It's done pretty good. It's not done terribly, but it's definitely, by the ends of the film, they kind of blew it a little bit, because the design for her, the Cheetah character, when she actually becomes Cheetah, is not good at all. It is very rough. For reasons I'll get into a little bit when I talk about, first of all, the positives of this film. This film feels like the 80s. Like, this is one of the most 80s accurate movies I've ever seen. Like, everything about this movie, from the way it looks, it feels, it sounds, it's 80s. Like, hardcore 80s. And I love it. Like, the sets, the designs, the clothes. I mean, it's so 80s. I love it. And the cool part about it is that it's 80s, but it also makes it feel, it also shows, like, focus on kind of the glamorous side of the 80s, which I love. As well. And what's the action is actually really good in this movie. I love the action in this movie. They do a great job of it. And the effects, for the most part, are very good. And there's a lot of great scenes in this movie, too. And some badass scenes, too. Because it is Wonder Woman, after all. But the biggest issue with this movie is the story, like I said earlier. And getting more details, the problem is, it's not a secret that Steve Trevor comes back. But here's the problem with the way he comes back. They do this in a stupid way. And I'm not going to lie, I am going to kind of reveal how he comes back. So, spoilers, but I have to. I mean, I'm in the future of this, I'm not going to be as spoiler friendly, mainly because when I talk about these movies, there's just some points where I have to talk. And plus, with something like this, it's fine because everyone knows. So Steve Trevor, Wonder Woman wishes Steve Trevor back, and he possesses somebody to come back. Why? Why does he have to possess somebody to come back? Why couldn't he just appear? Just as himself. Why did he have to possess somebody? That's the kind of shit I'm talking about with the story going the long way around. Okay, it goes the long way around to do something. We can just go straight through. And the worst part of it is just, what reason do you have to justify for him to possess somebody? It just feels very. It feels like they were. It feels like it was the first draft and they skipped it because they didn't think it was that important to go over again. That's my theory. And the message of this film, the wish message, at the end, the way Wonder Woman beats the bad guy, I don't hate it, but it is definitely on the cheesy side, and I will say it probably could have been done better. But because it's Gal Gadot and it's Wonder Woman, I'll give it a slight pass, but don't but don't try it again. um, yeah, the trickiest part of this film is just the fact the story. It tries too hard. The story tries too hard to do this wish messaging. You see, if I was going to do something like this, here's and bear with me. I mean, you can even share what you would do in the comments if you so wish. I'd be intrigued to see what you guys think. But what I would do is, first of all, that Steve Trevor shit, just have him appear, cut that guy out. You don't need him. That's bullshit. And also brings a very hilarious question of ethics about Wonder Woman being okay with sleeping with a guy without consent from the guy who's being possessed. It's just, oh, it's just like, how can you not have think this through? I mean, even the guys who don't think about this kind of stuff, even they would have kind of seen something seemed unnecessary about it. What else? Definitely cut that. I think I wouldn't have done Cheetah right away. I think I would have built her up for the next film. I wouldn't have shoot my whole load with the movie. In this movie, I would have built it up a little bit. I like what they do with Lord, so I think he's fine the way he is. I think the way she beats him with the message and like everyone like does this thing, it's just like, look, you kind of put yourself in the corner. What I would have done with that moment, I think, and the speech thing and everything, I don't really, to be honest, I don't think it should have affected everyone. I think it should have just been him that was affected by it. That's why I would change. And the only reason why is because the idea that to get everyone to renounce their wish across the whole world for it to work, that is so. How are the odds of that happening? I know, but the thing is, this is from the same people who did the first Wonder Woman movie. These aren't like people who just throw in popcorn movies. These are people who are perfectly capable of delivering a very articulate and awesome superhero action adventure movie. They can do better than this. This isn't stuff I'd expect from them. This is stuff I expect from someone who was just doing a superhero action movie, just a movie of the week popcorn film. That, if that was the case, then I wouldn't have been that bothered by it. But to me, I think the Wonder Woman's strength isn't the fact that she can't be inspirational and talk great with people. She can. But to me, her greatest moments is when she's like one-on-one or with a small group of individuals. Because you really feel how personal she gets with them, how much she cares for them. I mean, she shows that with the large group of people, but lots of superheroes do that. To me, for me at least, the key of a great hero isn't how well they do their thing with large groups of people, it's how well they do it with individuals, with small groups. How personal they can get with them, because that's the raw end. If she was able to do that with him, because the guy himself wasn't like a complete dirtbag. He had some motivations for what he did. So there was something deep down that could have been reached. And eventually it kind of was, but it's like, why did you have to go through all that? Yeah, the way the stone works and everything is just, they try too hard with it. Yeah, like I said, that's overall my thoughts. Sorry I got a little spoiler-ish, but with a movie like this and the way I'm the timing of reviewing it and how long it's been out, I think I'm fine, and how much people know. Um, I don't. I think overall it's a decent movie. I think the first one is better. I hope the third one is better. I think if they're gonna do anything with the third one, I think just don't think too hard. Like, keep the story simple. I mean, the first Wonder Woman movie wasn't, the story itself wasn't complex. It was just meaningful. It was genuine. And this movie, I think, is genuine, but it's misguided. That's the key. This movie is genuinely misguided. And I think there's just, and it also feels like a director's cut because this movie is way longer than it really needed to be. They could have cut some stuff out, and yeah, I'm just gonna say this. I think this is proof that the studio just said do whatever the fuck you want to her because she did so well with the first one, and she released her director's cut pretty much as a studio movie. And I'm not gonna lie, I can kind of get that vibe a little bit. Now, is it the worst movie ever? Hell no. No, no, no. This movie has a lot of great moments. It looks great, for sure. The action's very great, very solid. Um, can it be a little cheesy? Yeah, but I think that's kind of the point, though. That's another thing about this movie. It's trying to be like late 70s, early 80s superhero like stuff, more so like the Superman movies from then, that were the first two were good. That's a whole nother topic, but basically, it's kind of going for that vibe a little bit, especially in one of the opening scenes. It really has that vibe. But I don't mind it because I don't know. It's just I don't mind the cheese stuff of that because I don't know. It makes me feel good. It's kind of more like a lighter look at things. Like, not everything has to be dreary and dark. Now, keep in mind, I love dreary and dark. Don't get me wrong. But if you're too much one or the other, it can get stale. So I like mixing it up and like seeing some positivity sometimes. Especially since the first film had a lot of dark moments and it felt really serious. To see a little bit more lighter side in this is kind of refreshing. But you could argue they went a little too much with it, just a little bit maybe. But overall, I like the film. I definitely recommend checking it out or rewatching it. I don't know when they're going to do the third one. DC's kind of doing their own thing right now. I don't know how or what they're going to do with Wonder Woman, or if they're going to do another one, or if they're rebooting. I don't know what they're doing. It's not. It used to be a mess. It feels like they kind of got the grasp of how to make a good movie. Now they got to figure out where to go from here. Because at first they weren't making good movies. Now they're making good movies, but they don't know what to do with them. Are they gonna be Marvel? Are they gonna be like DC animated? Which is what they're kind of going for, is a DC animated route, where they just make good stories one at a time with different characters or different things, and just let it speak for itself as opposed to trying to do the Marvel way, which I'm okay with. But you kind of did one and now you're doing the other, so you're kind of left with this hybrid, and it's like, what do you do with it? Because so far, we haven't really seen any superhero crossovers after the first Justice League movie. So what do you do here? Like, how do you maintain this universe? I mean, yes, there was the Superman thing in Shazam, but I don't know if I count that because we don't actually see Superman interacting with them, which is kind of sad, to be honest. But still, it was still a good thing, but cool thing. But yeah, that's all I have to say about it. Overall, it's a decent movie. I definitely recommend it. I am curious of what they're gonna go from here with Wonder Woman as a character. Man, I love Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman so much, but I don't know how many more movies she's gonna do because Warner Brothers and DC, I don't know how long they're gonna keep doing their shtick before at some point they're either gonna stop. Because unlike Marvel, I feel like Warner Brothers and DC, I get this feeling they're running out of steam, and they're kind of not sure where to go from where their products are at. And I've been hearing rumors of them letting the DC stuff go or being bought out by somebody. I'm hearing rumors of that. And if that's true, then we might see a shakeup. Which, to be honest, I wouldn't mind, because the first Man of Steel movie, that was released 8 years ago. like 8 to 9 years ago. So they've had about the same time as Marvel did building up to like Endgame. So they've been around at this point almost just as long as them. So at this point, you kind of have to think, well, what are you gonna do here? I know I went beyond the Wonder Woman topic, but it does relate to Wonder Woman, the movie, because what do you go from the second movie onward? What do you do? You know? But yeah, that's all I have to say about it. But yeah, sorry. Oh god. But yeah, it's a decent movie. I recommend it. I think it's a good watch. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. In case you want to chat with me, Mike, or anyone else at the Campy Company, you don't want to use the YouTube comment section, we do have a couple options. The first one is we have a Discord channel. You can find a link to that About page / About section of our channel. We also have a discussion tab on our channel as well, and connects that through a PC or a laptop computer. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Please subscribe and like the videos, and have a good day.